last scene of all, which ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. On April the 23rd, 1616, I died. And it won't have escaped your attention that in a couple of years' time, we'll be marking the 400th anniversary of my death, so expect to be reconvened. I was buried in the chancel at Holy Trinity Church in Stratford. My wealth and status had enabled me to purchase a family plot, and if you go there today, you'll find Anne and my children, Judith and Susanna. Unfortunately, Hamlet was buried in Holy Trinity Churchyard, and the location of his grave is no longer known. On my grave, you'll find the words, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake, forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." Fortunately, that deterrent has proved effective over the centuries. In 1623, two fellow actors, James Hemmings and Henry Condell, arranged for the publication of the first folio of my plays. The rest, as they say, is history. Over the years, there have been countless polls and surveys in which people were asked to nominate what they thought was my greatest play. There is one play that always comes out on top. So, here is our idiot's guide to the Great Dane. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.
The play opens on the castle battlements where two guards believe they see a ghost, which looks like the late king, and are busy discussing it when dawn breaks. They hurry off to tell Hamlet about it. Inside the castle, King Claudius and Queen Gertrude, Hamlet's uncle and mother respectively, are talking animatedly together when Hamlet rushes in and reproaches them for getting married when his father was scarcely cold in his grave. As they leave, Hamlet utters the immortal line.
"Frailty, thy name is woman."
At this point, Horatio, a friend of Hamlet, rushes on and tells Hamlet that he thinks he saw his father in armour on the battlements the previous night. Hamlet is surprised. Next night, Hamlet and Horatio keep watch on the battlements, while joyous celebrations are going on below in the castle. The ghost appears, and Hamlet utters his next immortal line.
"Something is rotten in the state of Denmark."
The ghost speaks to Hamlet and tells him that it was his uncle, Claudius, who murdered him and seduced his mother. He says that Hamlet must avenge him. Hamlet is angry, horrified, and utters yet another immortal line.
"Are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, not dreamt of in your philosophy."
All this causes Hamlet's behaviour to become somewhat eccentric, and people begin to think he is going mad. So when he goes to visit Ophelia, the chamberlain's daughter, looking very unkempt and distraught, they think it may be his love for her which is driving him mad. Sometime later, Hamlet is wandering round the castle, considering what he should do. It is during these meditations that he utters his most immortal line.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Ophelia comes to try and talk some sense into him, but he is totally disgusted by the frailty of women and immediately utters yet another immortal line.
Get there to a nunnery.
A little while after this, Hamlet arranges for a troupe of players to perform at the castle. They enact a play. They enact a play which represents the murder of a king by a man who takes the crown and goes off with the queen. King Claudius reacts violently to this and stalks off, followed by the rest of the court. Later, Hamlet confronts his mother in her chamber. Polonius, the Lord Chamberlain, is hidden behind a screen. The queen thinks that Hamlet is going to kill her and calls for help. Polonius calls out from behind the screen and is stabbed by Hamlet for his pains. The queen thinks Hamlet has gone mad and he utters his next immortal line.
I must be cruel only to be kind.
Laertes, Polonius' son and Ophelia's brother, comes looking for his father and finds him dead, and Ophelia out of her mind, both thanks to Hamlet. He is very angry and plots with King Claudius as to how to get rid of Hamlet. News is then brought to him that Ophelia has drowned. Sometime later, Hamlet turns up in a graveyard, having escaped from pirates whom Laertes and the king had hoped would kill him. Horatio and the gravedigger exchange philosophical conversation, and Hamlet utters yet another immortal line.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio.
Laertes enters, mourning Ophelia. Hamlet and Laertes fight over Ophelia's grave. Horatio separates them, and they leave, muttering threats. In the castle, Hamlet and Horatio are talking together when Laertes comes in, accompanied by the king and queen. Gertrude and Claudius are carrying goblets of wine. Laertes and Hamlet prepare to fight. King Claudius drops a pearl into his goblet and offers it to Hamlet, who refuses it. The queen, realizing it is poison, grabs the goblet and drinks the wine in spite of the king's frantic efforts to stop her. Laertes falls, struck by Hamlet's sword. The queen drops dead from the poison. Hamlet is also injured, and Laertes indicates that his sword tip has been poisoned by the king. Hamlet kills the king. Laertes dies. Hamlet dies. And Horatio is left to bid a fond farewell with the immortal words.
Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing me to thy rest.
our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air, like the baseless fabric of this vision. The cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, and all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. And our little life is rounded with a sleep.
Shakespeare, start quoting him now. Brush up your Shakespeare, and the women you will wow.
Our revels here now, they are ended, and we do hope we haven't offended. As an audience, you sure have been real swell, so it looks like it's all's well that ends well. And we'll see you again in December. 4th, 5th, 6th are the dates to remember.
We've brushed up your Shakespeare, now we'll all kowtow.
Forsooth,
Yes, we'll all kowtow.
If faith
It's our last cow.